This morning, Melissa's path of destruction. New images of the aftermath in Jamaica as the hurricane makes landfall again.
Plus, a new development in a Sun Prairie murder, what police are now saying about offering closure to the community.
And why are AI data centers set on Wisconsin? We take a look at both sides of the issue. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on your Wednesday. I'm Kyrian Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for joining us. All right, just got a couple days left of October before November rolls in.
Yes, halfway through the week, couple more days left of October, and next thing you know it, we hit Thanksgiving and all the holidays.
It's gonna be 2026 before we know it.
Yeah, well, honestly, yeah, Happy New Year. Honestly, that's how it feels right now.
Yeah, all right. Jacob, how is it feeling outside this morning?
Well, still feeling pretty October-like, a little bit warmer compared to this time yesterday, but not too far off from where we were about 24 hours ago. Middle to lower 40s across the area, upper 30s for places to the north of Madison. High temperatures this afternoon, though, will be pretty similar to yesterday. And we're not seeing any rain. We saw some light showers in southwest Wisconsin this morning, but they have cleared out. Now we are dry, and the dry weather is expected to continue all day. Now let's talk about Hurricane Melissa. Continuing to see it kind of diminish over Cuba. And I say diminish, that's diminishing from a Category 5 storm. It's still a Category 3, so very, very strong right now, impacting the eastern portion of Cuba. It is expected to continue to move to the north while also diminishing a little bit. It will impact the Bahamas and then continue off into the Atlantic from there. And once it clears out of the Bahamas, it is not expected to impact any other land. Maybe some the outer ends of the hurricane could impact portions of Bermuda, but staying well off the coast of the United States. And as it continues to push into the North Atlantic, it will continue to diminish into a Category 1 storm. But the cleanup effort has only just begun in Jamaica and still impacting parts of Cuba.
Yes, Jacob, thank you. And we are thinking of those communities this morning as we continue to track Hurricane Melissa.
So prior to this morning's landfall, hundreds of thousands of people had already evacuated the island nation after seeing the devastation left behind of one of the strongest storms on record. Melissa making landfall as a Category 5 hurricane, producing sustained winds of 185 miles an hour and causing flash floods across the island nation. Jamaican officials saying that thousands are without power this morning.
Jamaica's gone through what I can call one of its worst periods.
The National Hurricane Center expects the storm to hit parts of the Bahamas today as well. After that, it's expected to head north through the Atlantic Ocean. Want to turn now to a major development in a Sun Prairie murder that happened a year ago this month.
Sun Prairie police now have a suspect in custody. Police say 22-year-old Zachary O'Connell shot and killed William Flannery and injured another person. The shooting happened on Martin Street near Wetmore Park. O'Connell is booked on charges of first-degree intentional homicide and first-degree recklessly endangering safety.
We did everything we possibly can to make sure that we provided closure not only to the victim's family of this horrific and tragic shooting in our city, but to all the people that live in that neighborhood. We as a community have to come together, and this is exactly what the city of Sun Prairie did.
Police say they are still investigating a possible motive.
An arraignment date now set for a Janesville teacher accused of child sex crimes. Adam Teal scheduled to be arraigned now on November 13th. Police say that Teal shared a nude photo of his wife with an undercover Homeland Security agent and told the agent that he had child sexual abuse materials. Investigators later seized his phone and flagged over 4,000 items as possible child sexual abuse materials.
6:03 in the past week, proposed data centers in Vienna, Janesville, and DeForest have made headlines. More proposals are popping up across the state, fueled by rural land and plentiful water needed to cool the systems. Environmental advocates, Clean Wisconsin, say that data centers in Mount Pleasant and Port Washington could use as much energy as 4.3 million homes. While environmental concerns mount, others say the project offers an unprecedented opportunity for local growth.
If a lot of data centers are coming here, how is that impacting our Great Lakes? And so when we start to understand how much energy, for example, these data centers, these AI data centers are going to use, I think it's starting to raise some red flags.
They do create significant amounts of taxable value within the community, more so than any other single project possibly could in this day and age. Another potential positive is the jobs.
Clean Wisconsin also notes a lack of transparency on how much energy these facilities will actually use. Microsoft says its centers, like the one in Mount Pleasant, are designed sustainably to eliminate waste. Turning now to news developing in the Middle East. At least 81 people were killed in overnight strikes on Gaza.
This comes just a day after Israel's prime minister ordered his military to conduct what he called a powerful strike on Gaza. An Israeli military official says that Hamas had attacked troops east of the line that separates the portion of Gaza occupied by Israel with the rest of the territory. Hamas has since denied the claim and says the body of the next hostage set to be handed over will now be delayed.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says the U.S. conducted strikes against 4 more boats suspected of drug trafficking in the eastern Pacific Ocean. This is the first time multiple strikes have happened on the same day. At least 14 people were killed Monday, bringing the total since the operations began to 14 boats destroyed and 57 lives lost.
This morning, the state of Texas is suing Johnson & Johnson and Kenvue. The lawsuit claims the companies deceptively marketed Tylenol to pregnant mothers and that the medication is tied to an increased risk of autism. The lawsuit also claims that for the companies to pay fines of up to $10,000 per violation. In a statement, Kenvue said Tylenol is safe. Turning now to the latest on the government shutdown. Multiple major U.S. airports trying to get back on schedule this morning as air traffic control shortages continue to impact travel. Some
of the airports impacted by the shortages include some of the country's busiest, including Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson and Newark Liberty. During shortages, the FAA may limit flights in and out or even enforce a ground stop, halting all activity at a specific airport. Over the weekend, Los Angeles International, the nation's 5th busiest airport, experienced such a stop. It comes as many air traffic controllers continue to work without a paycheck.
Tell my children that Dad still has to go to work while not getting paid, so that hopefully, that we could still put food on the table and get a paycheck eventually. But it's tough. It's a tough conversation to have with your children.
Other federal employees considered essential are also working without pay until Congress and the president pass a spending deal.
It comes as the Federal Reserve is expected to decide on whether or not it will lower interest rates today. It comes just days after the Labor Department released its later consumer price index, which showed inflation rose 3% last month. Economists theorize that the Fed will lower interest rates by 1/4 of a basis point today, the second time it will have done so this year.
In more local news, a drummer is sharing his story about how a life-saving device helped him survive sudden cardiac arrest while performing. Rocker was playing Black Sabbath at Gamma Ray in downtown Madison when he suffered a heart attack. Thanks to an AED, he was brought back to life. Now he hopes his story encourages more small businesses to have the devices on hand because they save lives.
There are so many resources, especially from the Madison Fire Department. They even now have a program where they loan them out, almost like library books for events. I've learned that survival is a very low percentage, and the only thing that makes it happen is CPR and an AED being close. And I don't think that people necessarily really take that, but you only have 7 minutes before really things go south if you don't get a shock.
With support from UW Health doctors, Rocker is back on stage and continues to raise awareness about the importance of rapid emergency response.
Incredible. Well, is it too early to start talking about Christmas? Madison's annual Santa Cycle Rampage doesn't think so. The Wisconsin Federation's annual event happens on December 13th this year. Every year, hundreds jump on their bikes to take a festive 7-mile slow ride that starts and ends at Breese Stevens Field. Registration is open right now. Learn more at channel3000.com.
I don't think it's ever too early because, as they call them, the Burr months are coming, they're going pretty quickly.
It's not just for the weather, it's all the stuff that goes along with it. I feel like everything this time of year just stacks on top of each other. It's just boom, 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 boom.
Yes, and that's what makes things fly on by.
I know it does.
Yes, but we are starting out our Wednesday a little bit cool, but not too bad, I say, Jacob.
Yeah, very close to normal, and that's going to be the story going forward. So let's take a look at the bus stop forecast. We're seeing temperatures in the 40s this morning, also seeing sunshine, and the sunny skies are going to continue for pretty much all day. And high temperatures, as I mentioned, very close to normal, highs in the middle 50s, a little bit breezy, especially early, but the breezy weather not really going to make a huge impact. Now, as we take a look at the highs across the area, everyone going to see plenty of sunshine with those high temperatures in the 50s. We will see that breezy weather again, especially for Madison and areas to the south. 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts are possible, but it will calm down later in the day. And once it calms down overnight, not expected to pick back up. Also could see some foggy conditions later tonight into tomorrow morning. Not seeing that foggy weather now, and also not going to see it Friday morning. So this fog is really just going to be tomorrow morning. Visibility could drop to near a quarter of a mile for some areas. But again, not going to be a factor after the morning hours tomorrow, as temperatures will drop into the middle and lower 30s. So it will be a colder night in general. But I'll continue talking more about the rest of the week and give you another full look at that Halloween forecast coming up after the break.
All right, Jacob, thank you. 6:10 right now. Coming up on News 3 Now this morning, I'll show you how a little UW musical magic is spreading to a local community.
In the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back in the 608. A big name for the Wisconsin band is once again sharing his talent, insight, and enthusiasm for music education to the younger generation.
Josh Breiter is here to share this story with us this morning. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, good morning to you too. So the UW band's Dr. Corey Pompey brought a little fifth quarter magic to the halftime performance at Mount Horeb High School. News 3 Now lead photographer Mark Schilling brings us the sights and the sounds.
This is fifth quarter.
Fifth quarter.
They're doing the fifth quarter. And so invited me to come, and I was happy to be invited.
Yeah, we're keeping it a little bit loose tonight. I know we have a few less marching moves, a few more shticks, a few more dance moves, a few more audience participation numbers. So I think the kids are pretty excited about it.
The students are stellar and they're on their A game.
Dr. Pompei has been a good friend of our program for a couple of years.
He came a year or two ago and worked with us for concert band. And this was his first time coming for football, and that was so awesome.
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Always great to be able to be around musicians, young musicians like this. We certainly want to make sure that there's a great relationship between Mount Horeb and the UW bands. We have a lot of students from Mount Horeb in the band, and we want to make sure that continues.
I know students always respond to somebody of his nature and stature really well. It's somebody they don't typically interact with, a college-level band director that directs a Division I school band. At the same time, a lot of what we do is based on that same band, so it's nice to have a feeling that you're doing a high school level performance somehow also at the college level.
I have season football tickets at UW, so I go to all the games and I see pregame and halftime and fifth quarter, and this was just like the real thing.
We got to play all of that music for all of our fans and Dr. Corey Pompei. I mean, that was just awesome that we got to have him conduct us.
How about that for a Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
So in just over 2 months, the Mount Horeb Band heads to London to perform in the New Year's Day Parade. If you'd like to support them, we have a link for donations at channel3000.com. How amazing is that, though? I mean, Dr. Pompei would not have to do that at all. Like, he's a big dog at UW, and here he is going to area schools and spreading a little love, right?
Yes, it just gives me the chills.
It
Takes me back
does.
to my band days.
It does.
Yes.
And it's like, you know, inspiring the younger generations. It's huge.
Yes.
His way of giving back and that opportunity, that moment, something they will never forget. The marching band is just so cool. It's just such an integral part of the UW program and football games and just getting everybody into the spirit and getting to, not only hear those songs, but play those songs. It's just very cool.
It's special, and it's those connections, right? It just, there's nothing like it, especially in these parts of Wisconsin.
Love it.
Yes, I love their energy and can't wait to see what they do in London.
I know. It's going to be so exciting to see.
Right. And pitch in, help them get to London.
There you go.
For the big New Year's parade. Josh Ryder, thank you.
You bet.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him either on social media or email us at inthe608@wisctv.com.
All right. Hey, Jacob's here with 3 things to know. What do you got for us, Jacob?
Well, we're going to continue to see fall-like temperatures over the next 10 days as we head into November. A little bit cooler over the weekend, but not dramatically cooler, just by about 5 degrees or so. We are also going to see very little rain going forward. Pretty much, I wouldn't say no chance of rain, but it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see a single drop of rain from now until this time next week. Taking a look at the current radar, all those showers in southwest Wisconsin have cleared up, and we are expecting, as I mentioned, very dry weather going forward. Today we'll see plenty of sunshine, a little bit cloud cover here and there, but for the most part expect a lot of sunny skies. Clear skies will continue overnight, which will lead to some pretty chilly lows Thursday morning. Also could see some fog to start your Thursday. And then later in the afternoon for tomorrow, we will see more clouds roll in, and this will continue into tomorrow night. bringing in a very, very small chance of a few isolated sprinkles, and this forecast is expected to continue for Halloween. Cloudy skies for much of the day, just a small chance of sprinkles. We still will see some peaks of sunshine here and there, and again, the shower chance is going to be so light that it wouldn't surprise me if no one sees rain at all at any point in the day. But just be aware during those trick-or-treating hours, it is possible. Temperatures will be chilly, but pretty close to normal still for this time of the year, not dramatically cold like it has been in some past Halloweens. And as we get to the overnight hours, there'll be a little bit of a better rain chance. So I guess later in the trick-or-treating hours, we could have a better chance of rain. But right now, I don't expect to see much. So looking at the Halloween forecast, mostly cloudy skies, few peaks of sunshine. Notice the winds, though, they are going to be rather calm, so we're not expecting the temperatures to feel any cooler than they already are. And specifically at that trick-or-treat forecast, we'll see temperatures starting right in the lower 50s, but most of the evening will feature temperatures in the 40s. We'll continue to see the cloudy skies, and I do expect conditions to remain dry. Just can't completely rule out just a very light passing shower, maybe just a few droplets of rain here and there. But for the most part, dry weather, but certainly chilly. But again, the temperatures not too far off from normal. In fact, they are going to be very close to normal. Fast forwarding to the Packers game, pretty similar forecast to the trick-or-treating forecast here. 40s, some lower 50s towards the end of the game with a good amount of cloud cover and a small chance of rain. And that's going to kind of be the forecast throughout the weekend. It will get a little bit cooler for Saturday. Upper 40s are in the forecast. And if we do see some precipitation Saturday, especially maybe into Saturday night, could see a few snowflakes, but again, as I mentioned, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see any precipitation from now until the middle of next week. Better chance of rain towards the end of next week, but a lot can still change between now and then. Very quiet for the next 7 to 10 days, though.
Jacob, thank you. And still ahead, a new partnership in Sauk City is making outdoor play camps accessible for kids of all abilities. Find out how your family can get involved. Welcome back. A new partnership in Sauk City is making outdoor play more inclusive for all kids. Live for Timber Nook is teaming up with Accessibility Wisconsin, offering camps designed for children of every ability. And joining me now is Catherine Kraft, Executive Director for Live for Timber Nook, South Central Wisconsin. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So for those who aren't familiar, can you give us a little bit of background on Live for Timber Nook?
Yeah, so Live For is a nonprofit I started in 2015 with a mission to empower kids through movement. Timber Nook is one of the programmings that we've just added this past July, which is a nature-led, child-based program that we really strive to inspire creativity and imagination and independence in kids.
Absolutely. Love that. So can you tell us a little bit about the partnership and what people can expect at the upcoming fall camps?
Yeah, so Timber Nook is for kids of all abilities, and we are very excited that we just partnered with Accessibility Wisconsin because now we have another tool to help kids with mobility challenges. So we have outdoor power wheelchairs where they can really go up and down hills and experience all of the woods have to offer.
Okay, so lots to do out there. So why is outdoor imaginative play so important?
Yeah, you know, it's really on the downplay right now. A lot of kids aren't getting it anymore. And so we're seeing in schools a lot of problem with some sensory integration challenges. Our kids are actually weaker today than they were when we were growing up because they're not experiencing that variety of movement. And so getting outside is just a natural way to help them strengthen their muscles and also just inspire different ways to problem solve with kids when things don't go their way.
Yes. And so are there still spots available for the fall camps? I know there's one tonight.
Yeah, so we're kicking off tonight with a spooktacular event where they're creating haunted woods. We have a handful of slots available for that. That starts at 4:30 tonight. Tomorrow is full except for one slot, so you might get one slot for tomorrow from 9 to 1. And then Friday we have a handful of slots available on Halloween from 9 to 1 as well.
And how can people sign up?
So you can go to live-4.com and you can find all of our information on there. You can also go to timbernook.com and select your location and you'll see the South Central Wisconsin location.
And very good. Well, Catherine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll have all of these details over on our website, channel3000.com.
New this morning, Hurricane Melissa making landfall again. Where it is now and a look at the destruction.
Plus, a major development at a local embattled beagle breeder. What's next for Ridgeland Farms?
And getting into the Halloween spirit, a family-friendly event that you can attend this evening. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us. It's a Wednesday. You've made it halfway through the week.
Yeah.
At moments, the week felt a little slow, but now I feel like we're pushing on through.
Yeah?
Yes,
All right.
we're
Let's
getting
get you
there.
over the hump today and to the end of October here. Jacob Montesano in for Savannah this morning. How are things outside this morning?
Well, temperatures are actually a little bit milder compared to this time yesterday. Not by a ton, but lower 40s compared to the mostly 30s we saw this time yesterday. Still a few locations in the upper 30s, especially north of Madison, but lower 40s, especially for southern and closer to Lake Michigan as well. Middle 40s for those areas. And as we take a look at the current radar, we've been seeing some showers in southwest Wisconsin, but they've cleared out about 2 hours ago, and now we are pretty much completely clear across the region. And we are going to, I should say, clear from rain. There are some cloudy skies out there, but not going to see any rainfall really for the rest of the day, maybe for the rest of the week. Now let's talk about the hurricane, though. Made landfall again in Cuba. You could see the eye much less defined, which is good news. It signifies that the storm is weakening. It's still very strong, though. Category 3 storm, and we're still seeing gusts up to 140 miles per hour. So, but we're talking about weakening compared to the over 200 mile per hour wind gusts that it was when it was a Category 5. So still producing major damage in Cuba. It will impact the Bahamas over the next couple of days. Once we get to later in the day, though, it will really begin clearing out of the Bahamas. And then once it gets out to the Atlantic Ocean, not expected to make landfall anywhere else, might impact portions of Bermuda, or at least the outer portion of the hurricane could get close to Bermuda, but it's not expected to take a direct impact on Bermuda, and it's going to stay well off the coast of the United States. So still impacting Cuba, but it isn't quite as bad as it was yesterday. Still very powerful, though, and obviously in Jamaica, the cleanup effort has only just begun.
Jacob, thank you for that update this morning as we continue to track Hurricane Melissa's paths through the island nation.
Yeah, this is as we're seeing destruction that was left behind from when Melissa struck Jamaica in what's being called one of the strongest storms on record. Melissa made landfall with 180-mile-an-hour winds. The storm hit critical infrastructure, including both schools and hospitals. Now officials worry the storm may have a drastic toll on the nation's farms and food producers.
Some of those areas like St. Elizabeth Parish are the main food producing regions of the country.
St. Elizabeth is the breadbasket of the country, and that has taken a beating.
The storm already blamed for 7 deaths in the Caribbean, including 3 in Jamaica, 3 in Haiti, and 1 in the Dominican Republic, where another person remains missing. 6:33 now to continuing coverage of embattled beagle breeder Ridgeland Farms.
A major development. Ridgeland leaders say they will close the beagle breeding portion of its facility. The decision follows a year-long investigation into animal cruelty and abuse allegations. The special prosecutor agreed not to file charges if the company closed the breeding operation. The research side of Ridgeland Farms is not part of the agreement.
They'll continue to be able to experiment on dogs. That's untouched by this. That was untouched by the special prosecutor appointment. I do also want to clarify that the agreement doesn't require Ridgeland to surrender its dogs. In fact, it gives them time to be able to sell those dogs for the next 8 months and get rid of them that way. We certainly hope that isn't the case.
Ridgeland plans to close the breeding facility within the next 8 months. The Animal Activist Legal Defense Project says it's the second largest beagle breeder for experimentation to close in less than 5 years.
And Janesville police have removed tables and benches from some public parks downtown. Janesville police say that officers respond to more than 1,000 incidents within the immediate area in the past 10 months. Police say there is a group of individuals in that area that repeatedly cause disturbances. Some Janesville residents shared concerns that the move targets those struggling with housing insecurity. But the city's police chief said it's a move to prevent crime by environmental design.
Rather than starting to criminalize individuals that were using the park benches or sitting at this table because of these behaviors that they were becoming involved in, taking them out and allowing a reset in time was what we elected to do.
The police chief says they hope to put the benches back by the spring.
The governor's plan to overhaul the state's aging prisons is moving forward. A bipartisan subcommittee of the State Building Commission has approved $5 million to move the plan ahead, despite Republican objections. The initiative aims to address inmate deaths, staff assaults, and soaring maintenance costs. And key proposals include closing the Lincoln Hills and Copper Lake juvenile facilities, building a new center near Madison, and shifting Waupun Prison's focus to job training. The changes would also reduce the state's overall prison capacity by about 700 inmates.
In the government shutdown this morning, Attorney General Josh Kaul joining more than 24 states and suing the Trump administration. It's in an effort to try to keep SNAP benefits on the table. Democratic lawmakers say the federal government has the money to continue to provide food assistance, but is opting not to.
We cannot allow Wisconsinites to lose access to food share benefits when there are resources in place that can be used to keep this program running. This would, by the way, not only have serious implications for folks who rely on SNAP to buy food, but would also put a significant burden on communities, including food banks and food pantries.
The news suit comes as lawmakers on Capitol Hill are calling for a judge to grant a temporary restraining order that would let the program keep distributing assistance.
A federal judge in California is blocking the Trump administration from laying off some federal employees as the government shutdown stretches into its 29th day. The ruling also puts a hold on any new or existing layoff notices for unionized federal workers, but it does not affect those who were let go before the shutdown began.
Now to the World Series. Dodger fans hoping for another big win left Dodger Stadium disappointed just hours after battling through a grueling 18-inning contest in Game 3. Blue Jays and Dodgers back on the diamond last night. And what wound up being a much quicker game than usual, just the 9 innings, about 3 hours in total, compared to the nearly 7-hour game on Monday night. Blue Jays ended up winning 6-2 to tie the series at 2 games apiece. Now they'll play again tonight in LA.
Also tonight, the Badger men's basketball team hosts UW-Platteville in an exhibition game, but they will be short one player. The team has dismissed forward Elijah Gray, citing events preceding his enrollment at UW-Madison. Gray transferred from Temple over the summer as a fourth-year player and had not yet appeared in a game for the Badgers. UW officials say they can't provide more details due to privacy laws.
SSM Health reminding families to stay safe this Halloween. Doctors say pumpkin carving is the most common cause for injuries because of sharp tools creating cuts and lacerations. Another common accident is tripping or falling while trick-or-treating because of electric wires that might be in somebody's yard or trying to jump curbs in the dark.
Very tempting to want to just run across a yard to get to the next person's house, right? Moving faster means more candy. So we recommend that people use driveways and sidewalks where you're less likely to encounter power lines going to, the inflatable lawn decorations people have or any lights in general.
Yeah, hard to tell the kids to slow down when they're out there trick-or-treating.
That's exactly right.
Doctors add that e-scooter injuries are also on the rise. So if your child is going to ride one of those on Halloween night, they say have them wear a helmet even if it's not part of their costume.
And if you're looking for a fun way to celebrate Halloween with the family, then this afternoon you can head down for Madison's Central Business Improvement District's event. They're hosting its annual Downtown Madison Family Halloween. Families can enjoy hay rides around the Capitol Square, crafts, art projects, storytelling, songs, you name it, and of course trick-or-treating at participating businesses. The event runs from 3 to 6 p.m. and it's free to attend. For more details, including trick-or-treat times in your area, you can visit channel3000.com.
Oh, love to see that. All the kiddos downtown dressed up in their costumes. Kind of a trial run for Friday night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are your kiddos geared up and ready to go?
We're preset.
All right.
We think all the things are in now. We're ready to assemble. We're going to do a test run with the costumes tomorrow and take some pictures and then let them run wild on Friday.
Yes, got to. We love to see it.
Yeah, you girls ready to go?
Yeah, they're ready to go. We've interchanged a couple of costumes
Elsas?
now, the Elsas, but they've also been just a princess and also Doc McStuffins. So there we go.
Doc McStuffins.
Yes.
All
So
right.
yeah, we have a couple to change in and out of. So
there you go. Options.
yes. But Elsa's who will be making the appearance on Friday.
There we go. All right, let's check in with Jacob. He's got your first warn forecast. Take a look at the bus stop forecast this morning.
Yeah, we are going to see chilly temperatures this morning, but not quite as cool as yesterday. Temperatures in the 40s. We'll see sunshine early and often today. Highs will get into the middle 50s, very close to normal for this time of the year. And this is going to be the case for just about everybody. Unlike yesterday where we only had showers in southwest Wisconsin, today the afternoon forecast, same for everyone. Plenty of sunshine, highs in the middle 50s. We're going to continue to see the 50s for tomorrow, but a little bit more cloud cover. The other thing that we're going to see today is we'll see some breezy weather. mainly for Madison and areas to the south. 25 mile per hour wind gusts are possible at times. This is especially going to be the case early. Once we get toward the evening, it will calm down, and then the winds calming down overnight will lead to calm winds tomorrow and also for Halloween, which is certainly some good news. Now, we also could see some fog later tonight into tomorrow morning. Not seeing the fog right now, and we're also not expecting the fog for Friday morning, so really just Thursday morning we'll see some fog out there. Visibility is down to around a quarter of a mile at times, so definitely tomorrow take it easy while getting to your destination, and we'll also see some pretty cool temperatures during that time. Middle to lower 30s for lows. That's going to continue into Thursday morning, and as I mentioned, the highs tomorrow very similar, but a little bit more cloud cover. Very, very small chance of rain tomorrow night into Friday, but I don't expect to see much. But I'll have a more detailed look at your Halloween forecast coming up after the break.
Also ahead on News 3 Now this morning, how the UW Director of Athletic Bands is sharing some musical magic to the younger generation in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back in the 608. A big name for the Wisconsin band is once again sharing his talent, insight, and enthusiasm for music education to the younger generations.
Josh Breiter is here with the story this morning. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, good morning, guys. The UW band's Dr. Corey Pompey brought a little fifth quarter magic to the halftime performance at Mount Horeb High School. News 3 Now lead photographer Mark Schilling brings us the sights and the sounds.
This is fifth quarter.
Fifth quarter.
They're doing the fifth quarter. And so invited me to come, and I was happy to be invited.
Yeah, we're keeping it a little bit loose tonight. I know we have a few less marching moves, a few more shticks, a few more dance moves, a few more audience participation numbers. So I think the kids are pretty excited about it.
The students are stellar, and they're on their A game.
Dr. Pompey has been a good friend of our program for a couple of years.
He came a year or two ago and worked with us for concert band, and this was his first time coming for football, and that was so awesome.
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Always great to be able to be around musicians, young musicians like this. We certainly want to make sure that there's a great relationship between Mount Horeb and the UW bands. We have a lot of students from Mount Horeb in the band, and we want to make sure that continues.
I know students always respond to somebody of his nature and stature really well. It's somebody they don't typically interact with, a college-level band director that directs a Division I school band. At the same time, a lot of what we do is based on that same band, so it's nice to have a feeling that you're doing a high school level performance somehow also at the college level.
I have season football tickets at UW, so I go to all the games and I see pregame and halftime and fifth quarter, and this was just like the real thing.
We got to play all of that music for all of our fans and Dr. Corey Pompey. I mean, that was just awesome that we got to have him conduct us.
What a night in Moho. So in just over 2 months, the Mount Horeb Band heads to London to perform in their New Year's Day parade. If you'd like to support their travels, we have a link for donations at channel3000.com. I think my hair is kind of standing on my arms. It kind of gives me the goosebumps this morning. That's some good stuff.
It gives me the chills, takes me back to my band days, so I can relate to the enthusiasm that those kids are feeling.
It's that connection, right? And just to think that you have someone as high as Dr. Corey Pompey who's made it, right? And he's helping all these kids, and you can see how excited they are about it.
Yes. they look enthused.
Absolutely. What a perfect assignment for photojournalist Mark Schilling.
Yes.
Right in his backyard. You know, he's a marching band guy.
Sure is.
He's got kids in the program, getting to blend his two loves of photography and band together. What a great fit, and it shows through the story.
I like to call
Great
him
work, Mark.
Moho Mark.
Moho Mark, I like it.
And his son Daniel making a couple of appearances in there as well.
Yes,
so,
I can't wait to see what they do in London. So
yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah, but they can't do it without your help. Make sure you go out there
They need
and
those
support
donations.
the Mount Horeb Marching Band. Make sure they get to London for their New Year's performance.
There you go.
Yes, looking
Musical
forward to it.
magic.
Good stuff.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Thanks, Josh.
You bet.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out on social media or email him.
All right, checking in with Jacob now. He's got 3 things to know. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Chris, we are going to continue to see these temperatures very close to normal. A little bit cooler over the weekend, but it's not going to be dramatically cooler. And throughout all of this, we're going to see very little rainfall. It wouldn't surprise me if we don't see any rain at all from now until this time next week. Right now, we're not seeing anything, and we're almost certainly not going to see anything for the rest of today. Taking a look at the cloud cover and rain forecast, mostly sunny skies, a few clouds at times, but for the most part, a lot of sunshine with the clear skies continuing once we get to the overnight hours as well, with a little bit of fog as we head towards Thursday morning. Now, looking at Thursday, we will see some clouds develop in the afternoon. Could bring some light sprinkles, especially into Thursday night. And this forecast will kind of continue for Halloween. A good amount of cloud cover with just a very, very small chance of light showers. But as I mentioned, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see any rain at all. Just be prepared for that very light passing shower. Continuing into the trick-or-treat hours, I should mention. And as we get to the overnight hours Friday, there will be a little bit of a better rain chance, but I still don't expect to see much. If it does rain, it'll be very light and very isolated, also very brief. Now, as we take a look at the Halloween forecast specifically, cloudy skies, high temperatures in the lower 50s. The lack of wind, though, will help a lot, so it's not going to feel any cooler than it already will be. Again, very small chance of sprinkles continuing into the trick-or-treat forecast. For trick-or-treating, we'll see mostly temperatures in the 40s, with the temperature starting right around 50 and then being in the 40s throughout the evening hours. Should stay dry. I don't expect to see rain. Still could have it, but certainly the trick-or-treat forecast could be a lot worse considering we've had snow on Halloween in the past. Now, as we take a look at the Packers game forecast, kind of similar to that trick-or-treat forecast, 40s with a good amount of cloud cover, 50s towards the end of the game, small chance of rain, but should stay dry. Over the next 10 days, not going to see a lot of change, just a few small chances of rain here and there with temperatures not changing all that much. They'll drop into the lower upper 40s for Saturday before rising back into the middle 50s by the middle of next week.
Jacob, thank you. Coming up in the morning sprint, instability in the Middle East, the latest after deadly overnight strikes.
And we want to encourage you to send us your 3-year-old's birthday pictures. We'll show it on TV. We want to wish a happy birthday today to Elena. Somebody sent her picture in. Look, she's on TV.
Yes.
There she is. Happy birthday, honey. We'll be back after this.
And we have one more.
Oh, we got another one. Frederick, turning 3 today. Happy birthday, buddy. 6:54, time for the morning sprint.
Hurricane Melissa has made landfall in Cuba this morning as a Category 3. This comes as we are beginning to see some of the aftermath left behind from Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. The powerful storm barreled into Jamaica on Tuesday with sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. The Category 5 hurricane caused landslides and power outages and toppled trees. Meteorologists say Melissa is one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record.
More than 24 states, including Wisconsin, now suing the Trump administration. It's for the decision to cut off SNAP benefits this weekend. The USDA said food assistance for 40 million Americans will cease Saturday if the government doesn't reopen. Democratic lawmakers argue, though, the federal government has the money to continue to provide food assistance, but's opting not to.
Just 2 weeks into a historic ceasefire agreement, the Israeli military launched a series of attacks in Gaza, killing at least 80 people. The order from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to launch strikes came after an Israeli official said Hamas fired on its forces in southern Gaza.
Downtown Madison hosting trick-or-treating this afternoon. It runs from 3 to 6 o'clock on State Street in the square, and it's completely free. There will be hay rides, crafts, art projects, stories, and song, and trick-or-treating. You can find more on channel3000.com.
And here's a final look at your forecast. We are going to see pretty steady temperatures, cooling down a little bit for the end of the week, but staying very seasonable. We will see a few small chances of rain here and there, but for the most part, we are not going to see much. A little bit of a better rain chance towards the end of next week. So really October-like and November-like as well, as November begins Saturday, if you can believe it. Overall, not a lot of changes in the forecast.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Coming up next is more CBS Mornings. Our next newscast is at noon.
We're always streaming on Channel 3000 Plus. Have a great one.